Kieran, can you just talk about your first impressions? I mean, there's a lot of youth, a lot of new faces. What's your vibe, after what you've seen just today and the past few days?
Yeah, a lot of energy. You know what it's like when you get a lot of new signings at places. Everyone's basically starting from zero and trying to get a spot in the team and trying to show what they can do. So I've been impressed. High energy, like a fresh feeling. Everyone's had some time off. It feels like most, if not all, ready to go again.
How are you feeling physically?
Good. So I had small back surgery back in November. It's been playing up probably. That's why I had a few issues going into the back end of last season. So I'm feeling really good. I had it done first week of November, so I'm not fully training with the team yet, but I'm back outside and feeling a lot better than I was.
What was it? What was the problem?
I had a herniated disc, so I had a microdiscectomy.
Had that been bothering you for a while, or that was new?
Yeah, it's been a long-standing thing that I waited until I tried to give it as long as I could until the end of the season, and then we obviously had quite a long off season. So
what's your timetable now for coming back?
I'm hopefully all going well at the moment. I'll be ready for the start of the season.
And you guys have so many new faces and whatnot. Just talk about that excitement level, like almost like the first day of school type of thing.
Yeah, it's very much like that. Just a lot of new faces. So it's important to get, to know each other really well as fast as possible because the season comes around quick. So the chemistry is going to be probably the most important thing, because even just from my experience in the league, character and chemistry in any league, to be fair, gives you the extra couple of percent sometimes. So it's important we get that quickly.
What did you learn about the league? How would you assess the league now and how your team did now that you're a little more familiar with what MLS is and what you guys were lacking last year?
I really enjoyed it. First of all, I loved playing in the games that I did. I think it's very physical. It's very physical, especially playing here in Florida. The team's fitness levels are high. So yeah, you have to make sure that you prepare yourself really well for the season. So that was probably the biggest shock to me coming here in July. And yeah, I think what I've learned from our team is we showed that we had I don't know how many games it was. We had a little run. That we have the capabilities. It's just about how you do that over a long period.
How frustrating was it on a personal level last year? You arrived, you start playing, you scored a goal against Orlando. It seemed like you were finding your footing, and then obviously the injury kind of takes you out there for that last stretch, and the team obviously didn't make the playoffs. So how frustrating was that for you?
It was actually, because I felt like we gave ourselves a real chance in the end to make the playoffs. So that was disappointing, because when you start to pick up momentum like that, it's like there's not really a better feeling than winning games and being consistent. And that's what kind of like players strive for. So we started to pick it up, and then we lost it. So that's something we want to look at, why that happened and how we can change it.
What I was going to ask you, what needs to change? Like, you're one of the more veteran, experienced players on this team now than you were last year. But what needs to change from the team last year that didn't make the playoffs to this team? Obviously, a lot of new faces. What needs to change for this team to live up to expectations a bit more?
I think if I could pick two things, obviously keeping everyone fit is good, and then I would probably say discipline. I think we lost a lot of players, at key times for suspensions last year. So that's like important to keep the players available for all the games, especially like the older players and the senior players. So I think if that would have changed, you would have seen some games where we missed a lot of players through injury and suspension, and that's like, you can't afford to do that.
Karen,
So
sorry, I thought you were done. Sorry, I wanted to ask you about the influence that you can make on young players that are coming for the first time being professionals. We've seen that in this team, and this year you have a lot of players that are like that. What advice do you give them, because you came to Arsenal and had a successful career there? You had a
it's just how applying yourself every day. You know, you go over the stretch of a season, it's most of the year, so how you apply yourself on a day-to-day basis, well, that's how you will look back at the end of a season and judge yourself on how much you gave for the team. So you know, the manager sets the standards of what he wants, and then players have to stick to that. And enjoy it as well. Enjoy the challenge. Enjoy, you know, trying to compete at a high level of football. If you don't have that, then you won't play as good, in my opinion.
Thank you, Kieran.